Okay, so yeah, Randy. So you were a teenage Nectar fan, and then Mo, you moved into his neighborhood. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Oh, we were about three doors down from him.
Six technically.
Six
Yeah,
doors down.
yeah.
We had this house on Fairmount Avenue, and we used to play in the basement. It was me and Taff and Larry Fast rented a house together, and in the basement we set all the gear up, and everybody would come over and we'd play.
Right.
That's where a lot of the music from the other side was made.
That's where we did that.
Yeah. With Rich. Uh, Rich used to come over quite a lot, and we'd just jam stuff. And then we'd go out and do a gig and jam stuff there as well.
If I had only known that you guys were doing all that playing down there at that time, myself and a few of my friends, Tom was one of them, who said to say hello to everybody, by the way. And we were big fans of the group. I mean, it's a long story of finding the records at the record store, and you could really only get Remember the Future sounds like, not sounds like this, Remember the Future, Down to Earth, and Recycled. The earlier ones were imports, and we would put in requests to the record store owner. This is back in 75, 76. And they were our favorite group. And one day we're driving down the road, going from school back to home, and there was Mo standing on a corner, raking the leaves or doing whatever he would do in a domestic house. And you got to be fucking kidding me! And we were too scared. I really regret that we didn't approach you guys.
Yeah, we were very approachable.
You've definitely, and now that I know you, obviously, you guys would have gotten a kick out of us. That's for sure.
Yeah, we would.
So how old were you at that point, Randy?
I was 16 years old.
Wow.
16 and 17, yeah.
And you knew just from looking at Mo that he was Mo.
He was a pretty distinguishable character back in those days.
What did you look like then, Mo? Did you have a long mustache or a beard or?
Yeah, I had like a Zappa thing down
Nice.
here, a little piece here.
But you had shoulder hair length hair. The other thing is that the local radio stations, the New York radio station at the time, which used to play Nektar, had mentioned that they had moved to New Jersey.
Right, I see.
So it wasn't completely, from Hamburg, Germany to Chatham, New Jersey, is quite a coincidence. There was, I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of knowledge from the media, a little bit that they had relocated to the States. So, yeah, it was wild.
And then Rich and Kendall, you guys had worked together before, right?
Yes, we were introduced as two people that should meet in the progressive world. So we met over this promoter's house and we got along. And I had a band in those days called Flying Dreams. And Kendall was part of Flying Dreams. He played a place called the Cutting Room in New York City, which is a really cool place. And Nektar came to see us and met Kendall and we joined. Yeah. But before that, Ronnie wanted to put a band together, right? Ronnie, you wanted to put the band back together. So you called Mo, Mo called me, and then called Randy, and I called Kendall, and we got together and we were reformed.
Yeah, I called Rich, and me and Rich and Ron got together at John's studio, and I could tell pretty much instantly that it was going to work with the three of us. It was like moving back to 1978.
It was great.
And we knew what we wanted to do. We knew that Mick was going to come back. We knew Randy was going to come in, so Randy came down and played, and then there was the four of us playing, and it felt really good. And we didn't have a keyboard player. And I said to Rich, "Hey, Rich, what's your keyboard player like?" And he said, "He's really good." So I said, "Why don't you give him a call and see if he'll come and, play with us?" You were going to tell that story.
I sure am. I was waiting for this moment. So they had been brewing this I've been playing with Rich for like 5 years, and they had been brewing this, and I didn't know it. Rich had mentioned it every now and then. He said, just, you know. And Ron came to the Prague House, actually. Rich and I were doing a duo.
That's right.
Right? And that's the
Yes.
first time I met Ron. I got off stage, and I go, oh, and there's Ron. And he said, hey, thinking of doing this, would you want to do it? And my words were, are you effing kidding me? So I was like, yes, that's history. I'd love to, of course. And he just said, okay, and disappeared. I didn't see him for another,
Wow.
those months.
I
These
think
guys,
were you there, Randy, too? Did you
I
come to that
was.
show?
Yeah,
Oh, you were
I
there
did come
too?
to that
Okay.
show, yeah.
it was, and they were,
I didn't do that trip.
yeah, I didn't see you, Mo. And so anyway, we fast forward months and months. I think it was January. Was it January?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out at John's, not suburbs, quiet. I think it was a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, but it was quiet. And I packed all my gear into my SUV, all 4 keyboards, speakers. I mean, packed. It's like, I'm going to everything. So I pull up, I find the address, pull everything out in the street, put my gloves on. I'm ready to, all right, I'm going to put this on a cart and pull it in. And Marianne, who was,
Marianne, come here for one second.
yeah,
She's right here.
she was taking care of a lot of the logistics and coordination at the time, pops out of the door and says, oh, I'm so sorry. I should have told you. They won't be needing you anymore.
Oh no.
And closes the door. And this is in suburbia, birds chirping, nothing else, and me standing in the middle of the street with gloves on, tons of gear. They're like, what the beep? And then they all came out and helped me
They
get
came in.
everything
And
done.
we loved
Yeah.
him. He fit in so great. We just it completed.
And the same thing, actually, as soon as he started playing, we knew that he was the right guy for us.
Oh, he's great.
It felt good at every stage of writing the music, of playing the music, of doing whatever we did. It just felt great.